We crave it, this feeling of belonging, of being part of something bigger than ourselves. Like a pack of wolves howling at the moon, or those penguins huddling together against the Antarctic chill. We're social creatures, us humans, wired for connection. And yet here's the paradox. This very same need for belonging can sometimes feel like a straitjacket on our souls. It can leave us yearning for the freedom to roam free, to blaze our own trails. Every group, no matter how cool or open-minded, comes with its own set of unspoken rules and expectations. But what happens when the cost of belonging is sacrificing a piece of ourselves? That's the tightrope we'll be exploring in this whimsical exploration of freedom versus belonging. Imagine a world without fences, without lanes, without any rules at all. Anarchy, some might call it. Sounds exhilarating, right? Like a wild Mustang galloping across the open plains. No one to tell you what to do, no expectations to live up to, just pure, unadulterated freedom. But here's the catch. Absolute freedom, as alluring as it may seem, can also be a recipe for chaos and isolation. Without the structure and support of a community, we're left to fend for ourselves. It's like trying to build a campfire with wet wood and no matches. The truth is, absolute freedom can be a lonely and disorienting experience. Now let's swing the pendulum back the other way and explore the flip side of the coin, belonging. There's a reason why we gravitate towards groups, towards tribes of like-minded individuals who share our values. Belonging provides us with a sense of security, a feeling of being seen and understood. It's like coming home after a long journey, kicking off your shoes and sinking into your favorite armchair. You're surrounded by familiar faces, by people who get you, who accept you for who you are. This sense of belonging, of shared identity, is deeply ingrained in our DNA. It's what allowed our ancestors to survive in the wild, to protect themselves from predators, to raise families, to build communities. When we feel like we belong, we're more likely to take risks, to pursue our dreams, to be our best selves. But hold your horses, folks. Before we start singing Kumbaya, let's not forget that belonging, like any good thing, can be taken too far. When we become too invested in a group, too reliant on its approval, we risk losing sight of our own individuality. Imagine a flock of sheep, all bleating in unison, blindly following the shepherd. There's safety in numbers, sure, but there's also a distinct lack of originality. This is the danger of groupthink, of blindly conforming to the norms of the group without questioning its validity. When belonging morphs into blind obedience, we stifle our creativity, our critical thinking skills, our ability to think for ourselves. We become cogs in a machine, replaceable parts in a system that values conformity over individuality. Section 5. The Balancing Act. Navigating the tightrope between freedom and belonging. So, how do we find that sweet spot? That delicate balance between the exhilaration of freedom and the comfort of belonging. It's not a destination, but a journey, a constant dance between two seemingly opposing forces. Like a tightrope walker navigating a high wire, we must learn to embrace both the thrill of independence and the security of connection. It's about finding groups that celebrate our uniqueness, that encourage us to be our authentic selves, that challenge us to grow while still providing a safe and supportive environment. Section 6. The Freedom Within. Discovering liberation in shared values. Sometimes the most liberating experiences come from finding a group of people who not only accept our differences, but celebrate them. When we're surrounded by people who share our core values, it gives us the freedom to be ourselves, to let our freak flags fly without judgment. That's the beauty of finding your tribe, your people, your fellow weirdos. It's not about conforming to a mold, but about finding a space where your particular brand of weirdness is not only accepted, but celebrated. It's like finding a key that unlocks a hidden door within yourself. Suddenly, you're free to express yourself fully, to embrace your passions, to let your light shine without reservation. This kind of belonging, this acceptance of our true selves, is incredibly empowering. Section 7. The courage to be different, embracing individuality within a group. Now, let's talk about the flip side of belonging, the courage to be different. Because here's the thing, true belonging isn't about becoming a clone of everyone else in the group. It's about maintaining your individuality, your unique perspective, even when it means standing out from the crowd. Think of a jazz band. Each musician has their own unique style, their own rhythm, their own voice. But when they come together, they create something beautiful, something harmonious, something greater than the sum of its parts. They embrace their differences, their individuality, and that's what makes their music so compelling. The same principle applies to any group, whether it's a sports team, a book club, or a group of friends. It's the differences that make us interesting, that spark creativity, that challenge us to grow. Section 8. The importance of choice. Finding your own path to belonging. Here's a radical thought. Belonging isn't something that just happens to us. It's not a magical force that sweeps us off our feet and deposits us in the perfect group. It's an active choice, a conscious decision we make to align ourselves with people who share our values. Think of it like building a house. We don't just move into the first one we see, do we? We take our time. We consider our needs, our preferences, our budget. We look at different neighborhoods, different layouts, different architectural styles. And only when we find a place that feels right, that resonates with our souls, do we decide to call it home. The same principle applies to finding our tribe. Section 9. The ever-evolving dance. Adapting to life's changing rhythms. Let's face it, life is a constantly evolving dance floor. Our needs change, our priorities shift, our dance partners come and go. What once felt like a perfect fit might start to feel constricting, like a pair of shoes that's a size too small. And that's okay. It's okay to outgrow certain groups, to move on from relationships that no longer serve us, to seek out new communities that better align with our current chapter. It doesn't mean we're fickle or disloyal. It simply means we're growing, evolving, adapting to the ever-changing rhythm of life. Think of it like a tree shedding its leaves in the fall. We let go of what no longer serves us so we can make room for something new, something better, something that nourishes our souls. Section 10. A toast to the tightrope walkers, celebrating the delicate balance. So here's to the tightrope walkers, the brave souls who dare to navigate the delicate balance between freedom and belonging. To those who embrace their individuality while cherishing the comfort of connection. To those who dance to the beat of their own drummers while marching to the rhythm of the group. It's not an easy path, this dance between two seemingly opposing forces. It requires constant recalibration, a willingness to embrace uncertainty, a healthy dose of self-awareness. But the rewards, the rewards are immeasurable. Because when we find that sweet spot, that place where our need for freedom harmonizes with our desire for belonging, we unlock a level of joy, of fulfillment, of authentic self-expression that is truly extraordinary.